What's up, everybody? Today's the first day of Season 4 of Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, and it's kind of a big one. We're going to go through the patch notes, but it's a big one because we're getting 50 extra health, something that us players have been asking for forever. I will be live an hour, maybe 2 hours after the update goes live, but I will be live for pretty much the rest of the day. Twitch link is in the bio below if you want to come check me out live. Say hey, say you're from YouTube, whatever. But let's go ahead and run through these patch notes. As usual, I'm going to skip through Spec Ops, multiplayer, DMZ stuff, but this will be linked down below if you want to check it out for yourself. I'm just going to highlight the important Warzone stuff. So the global stuff, the only thing you really need to know about is the Tempest Razorback Assault Rifle, the ISO 45 SMG, and then if you like melee weapons, the Tonfa melee weapon. Everything else, you can go ahead and skip. Stability, this update contains several fixes to reduce the number of known crashes. We continue to prioritize increased stability and crash fixes across all platforms. Upgrade servers, please. Studio teams have made meaningful progress in deploying several server-related fixes and upgrades over the last few weeks. We have seen significant performance improvement in several areas of concern, including crashes. We remain committed to tracking and pursuing these issues and continue to share progress. New operators, we're going to skip. The new weapons, this is the Tempest Razorback Assault Rifle. Says masterclass in exceptional manufacturing. The Tempest Armament Assault Rifle features a bullpup design and frame vibration control, resulting in smooth and controllable full auto 5.56 weapon. Unlock in Battle Pass Sector D13. ISO 45. This thing was useless in Warzone 1. Maybe it'll be different for Warzone 2. The ISO platforms answer to room clearing. The SMG dominates, so it's probably gonna have the Hemlock's iron sights, which make it even worse, or similar iron sights, which will make it even worse for up close. The SMG dominates with a high rate of fire and stopping power of 45 auto rounds. Unlock Battle Pass Sector D19. Then the Tonfa melee weapon, it's unlocked during the Vondel event, the assault on Vondel. But I'm gonna skip that. General shotgun pellets now use damage priority. If more than 4 pellets hit a target, the highest damage among those pellets will be used. Melee, fist lunge range decreased, gun butt lunge range decreased, gun butt damage decreased. That's for Warzone only. That's really big. I'm tired of people landing in and meleeing. They already did nerf it a little, if I remember correctly, and it is possible if someone starts punching you while you're shooting them that you could have won. But now somebody will be able to punch you in the back, and you'll probably be able to turn around and still kill them if they don't shoot their gun, which, players, shoot your gun. Don't be that guy. Weapon balancing. The changes to player health and application of armor damage ultimately result in the time to kill feeling slower, more consistent, and more reactable at every engagement distance. Which, they didn't even mention the player health change yet, right? Yeah, there's no player health change mentioned yet, and yet they mentioned it there. Their patch notes are something else. While a select few weapons are listed below, it is important to note that most weapons will see their effectiveness altered as a result of the change to armor damage. For now, we will be retiring the term armor damage, and any future changes that are Warzone specific will be followed by Warzone only. So Crone and Squall, these are all Warzone only. The full auto bullets to kill increased by 2, maximum damage increased, and minimum damage added. Semi-auto bullets to kill increased by 1, maximum damage decreased, minimum damage increased. It feels like a rebalance. It feels like it won't be as a dominant meta, but it'll still definitely be viable. We'll get to the health change later, but I think you're going to see a lot more LMGs, so that way you have a lot more ammo to deal with the health increase. I think we saw that a lot in Vanguard. You saw people favoring big mag weapons, such as the LMGs, the Automaton, stuff like that. So this is the part that I don't like. For shotguns, the Bryson 800, minimum damage decreased, okay, but head multiplier increased, neck multiplier increased, upper torso multiplier increased, arm multipliers increased, leg multipliers increased. Bryson 890, same exact thing. I don't like that those are getting buffed. The Expedite 12, maximum minimum damage added, leg multipliers increased. It's just small buff, not a big deal. I don't like the Bryson buffs, because the Brysons were already kind of decent. People just didn't use them, because they weren't great, but they were definitely decent. Now they might be great. KV Broadside, mid damage decrease. That sounds good until we get to something here in a second. Lockwood 300, minimum damage decreased. Head, neck, upper torso, arm, leg multipliers all increased. Hip to ADS spread transition speed increase, becomes accurate faster after aiming down sights. Mid-range damage increase, mid-damage increase slightly. The Lockwood kind of sucks. It's the double-barrel shotgun. I don't think you'll see it used other than maybe in solos, so that buff doesn't really concern me, but I don't like that they're buffing shotguns. The shotgun buff is... we know, if you are a long-time squad mate of mine, or you've watched any videos, you know I hate shotguns in every game, pretty much. Submachine guns, Fennec 45 bullets to kill decreased by 1. That's not a huge change. I don't think the Fennec's going to be back in the meta. Not a big change. Attachments, FTAC Siege is now getting akimbo. That could be a problem. Definitely something I think to keep in your loadout for a regain loadout, whether you use akimbo or not, or to use in the water. This could be a problem, it having akimbo, but we'll have to play around with it and see. Maybe I'll play around with it today live on stream. Cast-Off 74U is getting a new barrel that if you already are past level 9 with your Cast-Off 74U, and if you cared about that gun, you probably are, you're just going to have the barrel. And it's replacing the 545 Tracer, which, I don't know, is that rounds? Is that a barrel? I'm not sure, honestly. KB Broadside, this is where I was like, we'll see about the Broadside. 12 gauge Dragon's Breath, the close range damage increased slightly. Don't buff Dragon's Breath, please, Warzone. Do not do that to us. Bug fixes, I don't think there was anything too major in here. Other than fixed Dragon's Breath residual damage where it be counted as a headshot for scoring. I don't think that there is anything big in here to really worry about. But if you want to look over those, as usual, you can check them out for yourself. We have an assault on Vondel, which just has community challenges and mastery challenges. Another thing you can read if you want for yourself. It is lower. We're looking at the battle pass. So your new weapon, new SMG right here is down in D4. And then over in D9 is the new assault rifle. And then we are getting this classified section at the mid-season update. So that's the big thing there. Let's see. Battle Pass, unlock 100 tiers, featuring 2 new weapons. Gameplay. So, we were hoping, I think as a community, that the movement section would be more than this, but parachute weapon quick raise is now always used when cutting your parachute or landing for improved responsiveness on landing. So your gun's going to come out as quick as it possibly can once you land from the parachute, but it says when cutting your parachute or landing, so as soon as your parachute's not active. So if you cut your parachute, your gun should come out pretty quickly, or as soon as your feet hit the ground. Wished for more movement changes, but this is kind of a step in the right direction. Perks, adjustments, Bomb Squad now scales both explosive damage and clamps the maximum damage unless the damage was a direct impact. Sounds like a buff to me, but that language is a little confusing, but it was a perk that I've been using and I will definitely continue to use. Field upgrades, bugs. Field upgrades are now refunded properly when shocked by a shock stick mid-deployment. Throwing stars now properly extend battle rage and dead silence. Audio, added ability for war tracks. So no increases to footstep audio or anything. Something that's still terrible in this game, and something, if you've ever watched me on stream, I talk constantly about the audio. It upsets me way more than it should, and it's going to keep upsetting me. UI UX, new features, multiple attacker notifiers, a quality of life improvement. When a player is down while simultaneously under fire from multiple enemy players, a text notifier will appear near the crosshair indicating the total number of recent attackers. So, we always go 2 on us. Oh, wait, no, it's 3. You know that scenario. Or 3, oh, wait, no, it's only 2. This will tell you how many people were shooting at you just by your crosshairs, and then you can accurately comment to your team without having to do any thinking. That's actually an interesting change that I like a lot. Let's see. Adjustments, added a new splash that calls out when a player is downed or killed by more than one attacker. Unless that's talking about that, I don't really know what a new splash means. Players can now view skins for locked operators. Nothing major really in here except added the ability to select skins for tacticals and lethals. Check out the new Wumpa grenade. So one of the grenades, we'll have to see the pack. I bet you the pack comes out today because they put even this in the patch notes. Will now look like a Wumpa fruit from Crash Bandicoot if you get that pack, which I think is cool, and it's motivating me to spend more money than I'd like to admit. Let's see. I don't think they're added pros and cons for all attachments. Weren't there already pros and cons? If not, that should have been a day one thing. That's unbelievable that they had to add that. Improved usability of loadout select, not really sure what that means. Perk packages are now use a double stacked now, not really sure what that means. Additions, improvements to the HUD for search and destroy and rescue modes. Add reticles and tracers to loadout preview and gunfight. More multiplayer stuff. Global bug fixes. Once again, I don't think there's anything major here. A lot of it's multiplayer stuff. So I don't really think there's a big issue here. And so if you want to check that out for yourself, of course, do so. We're going to skip co-op. We're going to skip multiplayer. Going to still skip multiplayer. This is all multiplayer ranked play. This isn't Warzone ranked play, so we're going to go ahead and skip that as well. we won't really talk much on the Warzone ranked play. There's a section in here, but it's just reiterating everything. Nothing's really changed, except for one more restricted item, which we will get to. The Assault on Vondel, it's a community event. It doesn't say much of what the challenges are. We're going to find out the challenges on the update, and then it'll unlock the taxi boat and trams on the map. Once the community gets to a certain point, the reinforcement flare field upgrade, which is a random redeploy. It goes in your equipment slot. You shoot it into the air. 2 or 3 teammates are dead. You don't get to select who gets redeployed, but it does redeploy someone. I'm assuming the flare is going to look just like the buyback flare. The favorite supply box, which if you played Warzone 1 was your personal supply box, whatever your favorited loadout is, that's going to come out of that supply box. Of course, it's different for everybody depending on your favorited loadout. And then the new melee weapon will be unlocked as well through that event. Maps, the new map Vondel. If you want more look on Vondel, they did have a blog post going over the POIs. I'm going to link that down below as well as my video going over those POIs. So if you want to check that out for yourself, that's going to be linked down below. So we're going to go ahead and skip through that as well. Adjustments, the sandstorm in Mazrah is now subsided, and there's some sand dunes that you can use to get into buildings, TV tower, embassy, and the high-rise building. And then it covers some roadways and highways. Once again, I talked more of that in the roadmap video, I believe, so that's also going to be linked down below, as well as the roadmap blog post if you want to check that out for yourself. And then landscape added vibrancy vegetation through the map. There's a lockdown mode, which is essentially hardpoint, except not on Mazrah, on Vondel in Battle Royale. So that's going to be in during the season. We're going to get lockdown added at some point. So that's there. That's another thing I talked about in one of those 2 videos I just mentioned that they had blog posts on. So now we're into gameplay for Warzone. Adjustments, all maps, all modes. Player health is now up to 150, so with plates that's 300. That's the health that we had at the end of Warzone 1. Now, I would still like to see in ranked and Iron Trials type health where it's like 400 total health. Maybe we'll get there one day. I'm doubting it, but this is a huge change that we've been begging for as a community, and I'm so glad they did that. The one thing I'm unsure of is they changed the regen delay from 7 seconds up from 5 seconds, so now it takes 7 seconds of taking no damage for your health to regen. They said here it's to enabling players to capitalize on damage done and providing increased value to the stim tactical. Until stims increase movement speed, I don't think you're going to see people using stims. We're still going to use smokes, I think, because of the lack of hard cover in Al Mazrah. Now, maybe smokes won't be meta for Vondel since there's more cover because you got a lot of streets, you've got a lot of water, there's more cover, so maybe you won't see smokes on Vondel. I'm just using snapshots still, but we'll see how that changes things up. Without a movement speed thing, though, I think, and without Al Mazrah, which is the ranked map, having more hard cover out in the open, I think you'll still see smokes. Part of the reason they used smokes was TTK, and increasing the TTK is not going to be enough to get rid of the smoke meta, which unfortunately is brutal because the thermals are still restricted for ranked until they fix that. Armor plates, quality of life. Now you'll only pick up 9 total plates, 3 in the active slot, and 2 full stacks in your backpack. You won't pick up more, so you won't be surprised randomly when your backpack is completely filled with plates and nothing else. You'll have to manually pick those up. Armor box, now you get 6 plates no matter how many plates you're already holding. And munitions, despite how much ammo you have, you now will get the full amount of ammo from a munitions box. But your lethal and tactical will only fill up your active slots, won't add any to your backpack. Vehicle fuel gas cans will now drain a percentage of total gas while refueling a vehicle. You can now siphon gas out of a vehicle using a gas can, that's interesting. Rather than catching fire when out of fuel, the heavy chopper will now drop out of the air. Here's your playlist update for this week and next week. No Ashika this week, and next week it's only Ashika quads. They're really going to push Vondel, but that's not surprising. We saw that when they added Fortune's Keep in Warzone 1, where they pretty much took away Rebirth and forced you to play Fortune's Keep. And then the second week, it was like the same thing, where it was only Rebirth quads and all modes on Fortune's Keep. So they're doing the same thing there because they want you to play the new map that they worked really hard on. And personally, I'm not a big fan of Ashika, so I don't care. The other big thing coming to Warzone is going to be a reconnect feature. You must have at least 1 squad member remaining alive. You must do it within 4 minutes. It's only when you dev error, or when your game crashes. It's not like if you lag out. It's only, and obviously it's not in solos, and then there must be at least 5 squads. So within 4 minutes, at least 1 squad member still alive, and at least 5 total squads remaining, so you can't just come back in endgame. It'd be like if you had somebody left 1 alive in endgame, and you could wait till there was like 2 teams left, and now it's now you got 2 teammates instead of just 1 person alive. Playlist updates that go live during a match in progress will prevent players from using the rejoin feature. They, I'm sure, are going to fix that. And then known issues. I'm glad they're already pointing out the known issues. Last remaining teammate disconnecting may result in undesirable spectator experience while the final teammate attempts to reconnect. Rejoining while still in the driver's seat of a vehicle will remove the player's hands, can be resolved by switching weapons, and the functionality of rejoining ranked play is detailed in the ranked play selection section below. Adjustments, Gulag kill cam. The kill cam has been enabled in Gulag. Pre-match lobby audio quality of life. Proximity, voice chat has been disabled in pre-match lobby. They said that before. That wasn't true. Exfil sequence, quality of life. Players are now able to skip the exfil sequence animation. That's good. Gameplay, we're getting the new tactical amphibious vehicle, which can go in the water, as well as drive on land, and dynamic fog. Though typically sunny, players will encounter a varying degree of fog as they play through matches on Vondel. Billboards found around the map will serve as a way for players to plan around the weather forecast. Note the visual obfuscation caused by fog is reduced in Resurgence compared to DMZ. We'll see how that goes. I think it'll be really interesting, especially since it won't be super thick in Resurgence, but we'll have to see how that plays. Vondel Resurgence has a new public event, High Stakes. Players will be prompted to capture any of several crates that are dropped from the sky. Capturing one of these will provide players with some very useful loot, such as a portable buy station, armor, and/or munitions box, along with some cash. In addition, a successful capture will grant players with double weapon and player XP. Don't really care too much about that during the duration of the map. Note, this multiplier stacks with double XP tokens. So if you have a double XP token or it's a double XP weekend active, you'll get 4 times XP during that. Favorite supply box, it's the favorite loadout, as I just mentioned. Adjustments, we're getting a loot update for new Season 4 weapons, and just changing the attachments on the guns that you find. And I'm sure there'll be some guns that were not in ground loot that will be in supply boxes, and vice versa. Armor box buy station price increased to 2,500. Munitions buy station price increased to 2,500. I'm fine with that. 2,000 did seem a little cheap. It's too easy to get them. Backpack inventory. While attempting to loot an item that a player already has in an active loadout slot, they will be presented with the option to stow the duplicate in their backpack. Marker smoke, quality of life. We already knew that. Loadout drops are red. Deployable buy stations are green. Smoke grenades are gray. We already knew that. I don't know why that's worth pointing out. Resupply Burke. The time to recharge equipment has been increased to 50 seconds, up from 30. Redeploy drone destruction damage. Minimum damage increased to 50, up from 10. Maximum damage increased to 150, up from 50. So it's the explosion damage caused by a redeployed drone when it impacts the ground will now do more damage to you, so more likely to kill you if it lands next to you or on you. Bounty contract. The bounty contract will prioritize selecting a target that is on the ground and within close proximity to the player. That's how it should have always been. I'm so sick of getting people that are in the air and then they just float away. Most wanted target player will now carry a flag on the back of their operator for the duration of the contract to better help enemy players track the target. I don't think that was needed. Most of the time when you're grabbing a most wanted, you're a solo. You're not really out to bait teams, and so I don't think that's really worth it. But hey, whatever. Doesn't surprise me. Data heist public event quality of life. Players will now receive a circle peak reward of the upcoming circle when they complete the data heist public event on Ashika. Gas circle final behavior. The number of moving circles in the final phase of the match has been decreased from 2 down to 4. These circles move and collapse in size slower than before. The pull is an interesting peak in the climax of combat. However, it is often decided the finale due to the lucky pull in a squad's favor. That is true and is very frustrating sometimes. But I think we've all kind of accepted that's what it is. But I think this is a welcome change overall. The change keeps the need to reposition, but enables a wider, slower rotation to make a more even fight. Gulag, the time to capture the overtime flag has been increased from 4 seconds up from 3 seconds. That's a great change. Still, we need a smaller Gulag. Gulag's too big, and I hate the asymmetrical Gulag. If you ever watch me stream, you know how much I hate it because I talk about it constantly. Vehicle fuel, the heavy chopper no longer catches fire. It just drops out of the air, surviving close enough to the ground. Gas cans will now spawn with a fill percentage of 100%. Filling a vehicle now drains a portion of the total gas in the can, depending on how much the vehicle needed. You can now siphon gas out of a vehicle and into your gas can. All maps, Battle Royale, and Resurgence gas damage. Reduce gas damage to 6 while not wearing gas mask, down from 9. During the first 4 circles, reduce gas damage while wearing gas mask to 5, down from 6. That's great because the circles are really fast on Mazrah when you're far away, and they're impossible to outrun. So this gives you a better chance of survival. Definitely something that I think was needed. Let's see. Mazrah armor plates. The number of armor plates that players spawn within the Gulag has been decreased to 1, down from 2. Players will continue to spawn with a full 3 armor plates in Warzone ranked play. Gulag overtime. This time take capture the domination point of the Gulag has been. They said that twice. Strongholds. This is another big change that I think people were asking for. Inactive strongholds have been renamed to abandoned supply caches. Active strongholds and abandoned supply caches are now enabled from the moment the match starts during infill. Active strongholds and abandoned supply caches now have floating POI indicators that can be seen from above the world in the world space during infill. White supply boxes have been removed from active strongholds. We're putting focus on strongholds on the loadout acquisition and UAV benefits for owning the structure. Abandoned supply caches are intended to be fruitful loot locations worth a visit. That's interesting. I kind of like that change to really differentiate the two types of building. Because like we always called them stronghold and fake stronghold, but I kind of like this change here. Enemy NPC combatants have been removed from active strongholds. That's huge. Players will now be prompted to hold the line capture objective. The bomb defuse objective has been removed from active strongholds. You can ask my squad, or if you've ever watched me playing this, I've talked about this several times, how I thought the flag capture was introduced as a way to test getting rid of AI, and that we would see the bomb defuse also go away. And I was right. I thought about making videos on that just to put it out there. I should have, but whatever. Completing an active stronghold will only reward the black site key upon first capture. The loadout is awarded when the stronghold is captured and can only be acquired once per squad. Players are now able to recapture stronghold that has been recaptured by another squad. Subsequent captures will only reward players with access to custom loadout and the stronghold UAV effect. The UAV effect from completing a stronghold will now be shown to enemy players on the TAC map. The mission tracker widget on the UI while progressing through stronghold and black site completion has been removed for a cleaner interface. Does that take away the UAV from players who first completed the stronghold? Because I don't really like that if it does, but I can live with that. Black sites, the UAV effect from completing a black site will now be shown to enemy players on the TAC map. The potency of enemy NPC combats and black sites has been reduced. That's good. All map resurgence, dynamic resurgence. The resurgence countdown timer is now dynamic and will adapt based on current number of players in your squad. To clarify, a solo player that queues into quads plays will play with solo countdown timer rules. Vengeance icon. When a squad member pings an enemy that recently eliminated a friendly player, they will now observe an icon above the enemy to indicate that said player will reduce the resurgence countdown timer more than others. I don't like that, but what are you going to do? Hopefully that ends up getting removed. Tracked squad indicator. Squads will receive a HUD warning similar to the one used for the interrogation mechanic when a squad member has been eliminated and the enemy squad is able to see the position of the remaining squad members. Redeployment loadouts. Players will now encounter more variety in the loadouts they redeploy with, as we've added submachine guns to the pool of weapons for the third circle rewards. First circle, handgun without attachments. Second circle, handgun with attachments. Third circle and beyond, either assault rifle, battle rifle, or submachine gun with attachments, without attachments, and handgun with attachments. Or we could just get rid of battle rifles and have ARs and SMGs. Interrogation. This feature, which allows a player to interrogate down an enemy player to reveal their squad locations, has been enabled in Resurgence. I was just waiting for that. We knew that was coming eventually. Mazrah plunder strongholds. Active strongholds have been disabled in this mode. Abandoned supply caches will now be enabled from the moment the match starts during infill. UI and UX changes. Perk package name, quality of life. Players will now be able to see the name of their equipped perk packages in various areas of the interface. Buy station pings. A floating icon will now appear above the buy station indicating an item that a player is pinged for purchase. That's good for when you're playing with randoms or people without a mic. Scoreboard and Gulag. Players are now able to view the scoreboard while in an active Gulag match or in the holding pen. I don't know why that wasn't a thing from the beginning. That was so dumb. I can't believe it took 4 seasons, but whatever. Ranked play, text chat, quality of life. Players are now able to disable global text chat while leaving team text chat enabled, but text chat can be really funny sometimes, so we're going to leave that enabled. Warzone ranked play. The big things are the new restricted item is going to be gas cans. Nothing else new restricted. Nothing else unrestricted. The deployment fee is the same. The end of season skill setback update. So now instead of going all the way back to Division 1 of the previous class, you'll now just go back 3 divisions. So if you ended up like Plat 2 in Season 4, in Season 5, you'll go back to Gold 2 instead of going all the way back to Gold 1. Players, Crimson 2 and above, will start in Diamond 1. Season 4 rewards, you can check out the rewards for yourself if you would like. Let's see. The only other thing we really need to look for is, spawn protections reduced down to 2.5 seconds. I think it was already that way. We're looking for the reconnect feature note here. The assist The minimum assist time has been increased to 10 seconds, up from 2 in standard Battle Royale. This is the minimum amount of time player will remain on defender's attacker list, meaning that we more accurately capture assists in the middle of engagement. Good, because losing on that SR kind of sucks. All the same restrictions exist, except now gas cans are also added to that. The skill divisions are going to be the same, it looks like. Yep, that's all the same. The deployment fees look like they are all the same, except iridescent updated max fee increased from -210 to -230. And then the divisions are the same as well. Let's see, and skill back, ranks and rewards. Like I said, you can, as usual, you can check all this out if you would like. The rejoin. In order to uphold the competitive integrity of play, must have at least 1 squad remaining. There must be at least 5 squads remaining. The match players can only rejoin the same match once. That makes sense, and you probably really shouldn't disconnect more than once. Or you probably have a problem bigger than the game itself. To protect against abuse, players can have their ability to rejoin temporarily limited if they repeatedly disconnect from matches. Makes sense. Players that have been eliminated for over 3 minutes intentionally disconnect via leave match will not be presented with the option to rejoin. Players that disconnect while operating a vehicle will be ejected from the driver's seat. Let's see. Squad back out and match cancel. If you lose a match-made teammate before the match begins, your squad will be taken back to the lobby. Suspension and penalties. Disconnecting from matches early and not rejoining will result in SR penalties. Matchmaking suspensions. Repeated disconnects will... So now if you reconnect... you won't get that penalty, whereas before there was no reconnect and you just got a penalty despite the dev error not being your fault. But you should not get in any trouble at all. SR forgiveness if a match-made teammate disconnects during a game does not rejoin. Where is it? Where's what I just saw that I wanted to point out? Penalty disconnecting no players. Players that have been eliminated for over 3 minutes can disconnect from the match via leave match. So if you're dead and your teammates don't buy you back for at least 3 minutes, you can then leave. Which wasn't a thing before. You just had to stick it out. And then I think everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah, everything's pretty much the same. And then bug fixes, which once again, I don't think there's any fix an issue that prevented that apply all plates setting from taking into consideration any new armor plates that were looted while plating. I have been complaining about this, and for some reason, nobody else has noticed this except for me. So, like in my squad, I don't know. And then I don't think that anything else is I don't think there's any other bug fixes that are necessary to really point out. No, I don't think there's anything. Fix an issue causing the gas to do less damage to players' health during the first 3 circles. Fix an issue preventing receiving a kill streak warning. Fix an issue. No, I don't think there's anything else really big to point out. Fix the number of incorrect buy station spawn locations across Mazrah. That one's interesting. Fix an issue that caused the bird's eye perk to not function properly in Battle Royale. I think that's it, and then the rest is going to be DMZ. So that's where I'm going to end that here. Like I said, I will be live in a couple hours. The update's actually live by the end of me recording this. So I will be live within a couple hours of this video going up. So Twitch link is down below. This is also going to be linked down below, along with the other blog posts and videos I mentioned, and all my social media, so please feel free to check me out on those. I do appreciate a follow anywhere, a comment anywhere, just say what's up. But thank you so much for watching, whether you watched around... whether you clicked around and watched the whole video, I appreciate you spending any time with me at all. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more. So if when I upload more content, you're one of the first to know. And let me know down below what you think of the updates. The big update being the change in health, the rejoin feature, the removal of AI from strongholds. Those are the real big changes. And then, of course, the weapon changes we got, which were fairly limited. But let me know what you think down below. And I will see you on Vondel and on the Mazrah Ranked. Get frying. Have a good day.